new Calypso monarch crowned after a fiercely contested Pickety Crop finals. 4-day morning jam revelers make merry from Bridgetown to the mighty Griner Highway. And
broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC Newsnight, starting now.
Hello, I'm Sharika Griffith with this weekend edition of Newsnight. In our top story, a stellar performance of his song culminating with some stinging pecong won Adrian A.C. Clark the Calypso crown. His victory came before an appreciative crowd at the National Botanical Gardens. The results were announced in the early hours of this morning. Trevor Thorpe reports.
After a late start of nearly an hour and a battle with technical challenges, fresh faces rubbed shoulders with seasoned performers in a keen contest for the crown.
With 133 points, the Calypso King, Monarch of Barbados for 2024, sponsored by Courtesy Garage Limited, comes from the big show, going for crown, the champion, AC.
It was a performance befitting a king. Going for crown did it for Barbados' new Calypso monarch, AC.
I know you have been waiting for me to do some peacock, but the wait is over. Prepare for licks right now in my song. What happened to the village ram? Did something get his tongue? But I know tonight for sure that he ain't getting back this crown. If Mia wanted to hire a star, you think Webster is the man? No, she would go to Ellerton and she would hire Peter Ram. Biggie Irie coming up here, you can appreciate it. But just this in QEH, but he have to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. Thank you! Yeah.
And the new king has already made his decision between the prize of a 2024 e-Power Nissan X-Trail valued at $136,000 and 1 year's insurance coverage worth $5,000 or cash of $100,000.
Well, seeing as I took the opportunity to get in a car beside you, any thoughts yet? I know you have until Wednesday, but I mean, it's not a good-looking vehicle.
Well, let me tell you, I ain't gonna wait till Wednesday because I am taking the vehicle.
Cyril took second place and $40,000, Crystal third and prize money of $20,000. It was a historic and unprecedented battle of lyrical prowess as for the first time a visually impaired contestant, Ranville Mr. DJ Carter, faced the judges in the 50-year history of the Crop Over Festival. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
Well, the action then moved from the Botanical Gardens to Bridgetown for the Koiman 4-day morning jam. Despite concerns by some band leaders about a drop-off in revelers, there was no shortage of merriment as bands made their way to the mighty Griner Highway.
Thousands of revelers clad in brightly colored costumes, many covered in paint, turned out for the annual 4-day morning jam. Colors Entertainment was among the 29 registered bands on the road. Band leader Brian Worrell was happy with how things turned out.
Fantastic. You can see the band burst, everything sweet. Started slow, fast finish, but we get home.
While some chipped along behind the trucks, others, like these skaters, opted to roll. Harvey Smith believes it's a great activity for youngsters to get involved in.
Because we have to get a lot of these young people off the road that being artists. And we have 8 groups in Barbados now, the skate groups. And we have a lot of youngsters that we also getting them away from the cell phone. And what we just normally do, we just normally instill values when they come to our clubs.
He had a message for those who may seek to disrupt the festival with violence.
Crop over is in my DNA. Crop over is something that I love and I cherish. What hurt me about crop over is the youngsters of today. I would like the youngsters that dealing with violence stay at home. Let us us enjoy crop over.
The festival concludes on Monday with Grand Kadooment. And despite the challenges in production, Grand Kadooment band leaders are still promising to bring creative costumes this year. We caught up with some of them who are getting ready for the big day.
Current band leader Betty West is on a mission to match the performance of her 2023 band.
I am actually coming stronger than ever this year. The name of my band is Celebrating We Holidays. And I have Arabara Day, Christmas Day, Independence Day, Heroes Day, Emancipation Day, Easter is all. And you could see in the costume actually what I'm depicting.
She will join her 300-strong members on the road, wearing a special costume in memory of her departed friend.
This year, I must say, I'm playing a tribute. My costume is paying a tribute to Gwyneth Squires. So I'm using cameraman's song there. And believe me, I love the song anyway. And this lady, she motivated me to be where I am today. So I miss her, and I had to pay tribute to her, and I thought I'll wear that costume myself. And she was into sailor masks and all that, and I'm going to, I'm going to do something along that line.
And Kevin Small of Fifth Element will also be paying tribute to Gwyneth Squires in one of his sections.
It is called My Crop Over, in celebration of crop over on the whole, and featuring us designers, designers who would have gone before us, like Marcia Chandler, Robert Weeks, those designers, paying a very special tribute to the late Gwyneth Squires.
The Colors team, led by Brian Worrell, will also have a strong showing on the road.
Grand Kadooment theme is Enchanted Oasis. We're doing 6 sections for that. We're catering for about 400 people.
However, going forward, Worrell wants to see additional assistance for band leaders.
Always need any additional assistance we can get. I mean, we put a lot of heart and soul into the Crop Over Festival. We are one of the only 2 bands that do all 3, Junior, 4-Day Morning, and Grand Kadooment. So, any assistance that you can get. I mean, we put on a pretty steady brand for over the last 20 years. We've been doing this. I've been pretty consistent as well in terms of producing quality, high-quality, premium-type events.
Grand Kadooment is expected to start at 9 a.m. on Monday, August 5th. Rianne Phillips, CBC News.
The final weekend of the crop over season has been relatively incident-free so far. That's according to Police Communications and Public Affairs Officer Inspector Rodney Innes, who's encouraging Barbadians to keep it that way. And as people continue to attend activities this weekend, lawmen are providing some tips to help them stay safe while enjoying themselves. Crime Prevention Officer Inspector Roger Babb is advising people not to feel pressure to drink alcohol, which he says impairs the ability to make good decisions. However, those who do drink are encouraged to do so in moderation and never leave their drink unattended nor accept drinks from strangers. Instead, it is recommended that people buy their own drinks and watch the bartender make or open them. However, if you think your drink has been tampered with, Inspector Babb's advice is to let someone know and seek medical attention. Finally, he's urging people not to drink and drive, which may result in accidents that can be fatal. Well, coming up, another weekend of Bridgetown Market. Crop over activities have moved into top gear with Bridgetown Market on the Mighty Griner Highway today. Cultural Officer with the National Cultural Foundation, Andrea Wells, tells CBC News the feedback has been good.
It's going well. It's been a lot of work, but I think that the community really appreciated it. We have had great support at all of our events so far, and people are saying that they really are getting the vibe of the 50th anniversary celebration of Crop Over.
And the Cultural Officer says more is in store.
Well, tomorrow, certainly the Bridgetown Market continues. We know that everyone is looking forward to Soca 5.0. It's going to be the hottest, I think, fete and event of the festival. Lots of energy around it. And of course, Grand Kadooment, the big event on Monday that caps off the entire season. That is the formal season. There are many private events also happening over this entire weekend and more to follow in the weeks to come. But in terms of the national programming, Grand Kadooment caps off an amazing calendar of events.
In other news, the long-awaited facelift to Temple Yard in the city should happen by next year. This as government moves to improve the area for vendors and artisans. Following a closed-door meeting with officials from the Barbados Tourism Investment Incorporated, the Urban Development Commission, and the Markets Division of the Ministry of Agriculture, they're all in unison on the way forward. Rachel Agard has that story.
Government's plan to revitalize and improve Temple Yard in the city is back on the table. And in an effort to move the project forward, vendors and artisans will be temporarily relocated to Pelican Village. Communication specialist with Hague Communications, Joyanne Hague, speaking on behalf of the BTII, acknowledges there was a breakdown in communication, but notes they are all on the same page now. She says all vendors and artisans will not move at the same time.
We want to bring Temple Yard where it should have been, and it's never too late. We've started, and we are pretty excited about this move. Eventually, the new Temple Yard will be completed. We have to start construction. God willing, all things go to plan of being equal. We would like to start that construction this year and hopefully finish it by next year. But the artisans are well aware of the timelines. Their expectations have been adjusted, that they know that Christmas coming, more than likely they will be in Pelican plying their trade, and they're looking forward to the cruise ships coming. They're looking forward to the promotion that Pelican has to offer, and possibly even training and even exporting some of their products, because that is going to be the new way forward for Temple Yard.
Ms. Hague says discussions will take place with cruise ships to ensure vendors and artisans are not disadvantaged.
The fact that we have so many cruise ships coming, I believe that we can share that information about the existence of Pelican and the artisans, so that when they visit the shops inside, the next shop that you're actually going to get to will be Pelican. So it requires, yes, a little bit more promotion just to improve on whatever was there, because we don't want them to feel that they've moved out and then they're disadvantaged of where they are. I've given them our word on behalf of BTI that we will do everything we can to promote Pelican. If that means assisting BIDC in their efforts, of course, we'd be more than happy to do that.
And President of the Temple Yard Society, Sherry-Ann Knight, says they're working with authorities on the way forward.
We are joyous. We are overwhelmed. At this stage, we are overwhelmed. It was a long awaiting, and I know, yeah, I'm happy.
Temple Yard historically has been a hub of cultural, culinary, and artistic expression for the Rastafarian community in Bridgetown, and like many areas in the city, is in need of a facelift. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
Well, coming up, the weekend sports with Anne-Marie Burke.
Good evening with sports. I'm Anne-Marie Burke. St. Lucia's Julianne Alfred is the women's 100 meters Olympic champion. It was history in the making as Alfred became St. Lucia's first Olympic medalist, and it was a golden run. She stopped the clock with a time of 10.72 seconds, leaving the USA Sha'Carri Richardson and Melissa Jefferson in the dust as they clocked 10.87 seconds and 10.92 seconds respectively. Of note is that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price withdrew from the event at the semi-final stage, and it was later confirmed by Jamaica's team manager Lalo Watts that the two-time Olympic champion picked up an injury during the warm-up, which led to her withdrawal. Meanwhile, in the men's 100-meter heats, Jamaica has given the region hope with 3 entries into the semi-finals. Oblique Seville, Kashane Thompson, and Akeem Blake all secured their spot this morning, with Seville clocking the fastest time of 9.99 seconds. The USA has also signaled that they mean business as Frederick Curley and Kenny Benerick both clocked 9.997 seconds, registering the fastest qualifying time in the heats. Benerick took the win against Canada's Andre DeGrasse, who was Tokyo's 200-meter gold medalist. The men's 100 semifinals and final is scheduled for tomorrow. The West Indies Championship 11 drew with South Africa at the Brian Lara Stadium in Trinidad on the final day of their 4-day warm-up match. Resuming their first innings this morning on 408 for 8 with an 11-run lead, the visitors opted to send the West Indies 11 into bat and held them to 46 for 4 when stumps were pulled. Lungi and GD took 3 for 8. Scores in the match: West Indies Championship 11, 397 and 46 for 4. South Africa 408 for 8. The first official test begins on Wednesday. And that's it for sports.
And that's our news. Thank you so much for joining us, and do continue to enjoy your evening.